you think about when I say inflammation? If you're like most people, you probably think about the redness, the swelling, the itching, that sort of thing. But it's actually a normal process in the body that's necessary for us to stay healthy. It's our body's way of alerting the immune system that there's a problem and it needs to come over and fix it. Normal situation, it would be from something like a virus or a toxin or a bacteria that's not supposed to be there. It only becomes a problem if it happens over a long period of time, or chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation causes chronic disease. So basically, inflammation causes most diseases. The problem with conventional medicine is that we often break our inflammation up into separate parts of the body. So inflammation in the GI system, you go to a gastroenterologist. If there's inflammation in the heart and the blood vessels, you go to a cardiologist. If there's inflammation in your foot, then you go to a podiatrist. It's all seen as separate things, and each specialty kind of just focuses in on the one part of the body without looking at the whole body and the inflammation there. So when we start to break up inflammation and different disease states into separate areas and have different people treat them, then we don't see what's going on in the body as a whole. So in my opinion, instead of asking, how can we fix this one part of my body, I would rather ask, what's causing the inflammation in the body and how can we reduce that to help symptoms everywhere? Biggest thing that causes inflammation is probably food, if not stress. Maybe they're tied for first. But there are inflammatory foods that we are consistently exposed to causing low-grade chronic inflammation that is kind of below that pain threshold, below us actually noticing it, but it causes a lot of effects like depressed mood, like fatigue, lack of energy. And it's because the body is constantly fighting, thinking that there is some sort of a threat that it's under, and the immune system is revved up and it doesn't know what to do because we're consistently seeing things come into our body that are not supposed to be there. And on the other side of nutrition, we are typically eating foods that are not very nutritious for us. So we're eating processed food that has a lot of the nutrients stripped out of it. Moving on to stress, that can be physical or emotional. So emotional stress, like being stressed out at work or at home or with the global pandemic, for example. Physical stresses are like toxins, medications, cuts, broken bones, those sorts of things. Oh, and one more thing about medications, those anti-inflammatories called NSAIDs, like ibuprofen, naproxen, Aleve, that you can get over the counter. Those are great for short-term use, but in the long term, they actually contribute to inflammation in the body. They break down the gut barrier and cause leaky gut, which causes a lot of problems. Sleep is another big one that contributes to stress, because if you don't get enough sleep, your body's not allowed to heal like it's supposed to. And then you go into the next day, for example, feeling crappy, which causes you to probably make not as great choices with nutrition. And let's not forget about movement or exercise. A lot of us don't get out and get enough movement, especially lately if we're stuck at home, working from home, and not getting up to stretch, not getting up to walk, not getting up to move. Sedentary lifestyle has been shown to be just as bad as smoking. So literally sitting too long is just as bad as smoking. And let's not forget about human connection, because human connection and relationships can have a really huge impact on your life and on your health and on your stress and on inflammation that causes chronic disease. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit terrified to see what happens after the pandemic is over, after so many people have been without connection for so long. So if you really think about it, if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're stressed out about work or home, and you're not eating the best diet, and you're not sleeping well, did I say sleeping well already? And if you're feeling alone, like just those very simple things can result in some pretty serious symptoms in the body. And for some reason, we're still wondering why chronic disease is on the rise when all these medications are here to help fix everything. But they don't fix anything. It can help in the short term while you get back on track, but I don't know. I don't think they're the best thing for us all the time. And I don't think that they should be our first choice for treatment options. Medications are kind of there to just suppress symptoms and cover them up so you don't experience them, but it doesn't stop what's causing the symptoms in the first place. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk today. If you live in Wisconsin, I do have functional medicine consults available. If you're anywhere else, I do have health and life coaching to help you figure out what's causing the stress in your life and in your body and making that all go away. Hope you enjoyed the talk today. See you next week.